Alright, welcome back everyone. This is Prophet of the Constitution. This is episode 2 of our British Crown and Hanover campaign as the Subsidy Troops Army. Now, between the previous episode and this episode, I took the liberty of customizing some of our troops. I didn't do any customization for the recruits yet. However, the Grenadiers from Hesse, I did do customization options. I'm going to go through all this a little bit with you guys so that you can see the customization options that this game has. Pretty great in my opinion. I'm very pleased with it. So we do have our 1214 Rückersfeld Grenadiers from Hesse. We have 3rd Battalion Reed Musketeers from Hanover. We have the 2nd Brunswick Zastrow Musketeers and the 2nd Brunswick Leib Regiment of Musketeers. As you can see, colors are fairly similar. The two Brunswick units have a blue and white and blue and yellow white motif. The Hessians, of course, have a dark blue and red motif, and Hanover with the classic red-white. So, one little look-see here. I'm going to click on this unit from Hanover, the Reed Battalion. Alright, so here you can choose between, it's not a lot of flag choices. However, a decent number, especially when you pair these with the flag pattern. I'm going to do this on a recruit actually, so if I screw something up, I don't mess up the units I already customized. Alright, so here you can choose anything you like. You can make units have different themes or be from different nations. You can roleplay a little bit however you like. Mix one of these emblems with one of these flag patterns and change the color patterns. Now, these color patterns, that's not the only thing you can do. That's down here. You have buttons here that show which part you're working on. You can change the uniform itself. You can change the hat, hair, collar, coat, crossbelt, and trousers. Now, some units may not have a crossbelt, some may not have a collar or such and such. However, customization options are pretty great. I didn't put a lot of that into the previous episode or anything. I wanted to make it something in the interim, and then I'd show you guys what I did. Alright, so excuse me. Still dealing with some of that garbage. It's on the back end, thank God. Don't know why, but it seems to be kicking people's butts this season. Alright. So here, we were preparing to engage an enemy force of 5,700 men. Should be fairly simple. We've got to watch our food. It's getting low. We will engage these troops. They have artillery, 1 fusilier, and 3 recruits. So like previous, we're going to see if we can get our general to deal with that artillery. And I'm going to have our recruits battle their recruits. I'd really like to see them level up some more. I don't want to have too many recruits going into Act 2. I suppose we'll see how that goes, of course. Ah, yes. Invisible Hand of Hunger. An army marches on its stomach. Alright. We have a river here, but we would be placing ourselves inside a marsh. I'm not certain that I would like to do that. We could alternatively use this river or the town. I think I'm inclined to do that. I may have to force march our men over there. I'm not the biggest fan of this ground here. We could make a hold of it here, but I'd rather have cover for our men to use. Excuse me. Alright, we'll keep the general out there so we can deal with the artillery. So let's see here. We're going to come to the town. And see what they choose to do in response. Hopefully their artillery will not set up and start firing at our columns anytime soon. Their range is only at 350, so I don't suspect they will be much trouble. Alright. We're proceeding on here. We are going to set up inside the town. Give us the best opportunity for cover, especially while they still have their guns operational. Alright. They're turning to face us. They know we're heading that way. I'm very thankful that their guns have such pathetic range. I'm going to speed this up, however. Everything is taking so long to move. Normally not too big of a deal, but I don't want this to drag on and on and on. Alright. Set them up in such a way that I can get the recruits deployed inside the town. That's another benefit, because the recruits are so bad. The buildings in the town and the cover it provides will really help them stay alive and do more damage for a longer duration of time. Those royal recruits need a lot of leveling, considering that I'm gonna try to make them into French heavy cavalry. Alright, let's see here. Keep our regular troops in reserve there. That's a really good position right there, I think. Keep these subsidy troops in reserve on the right flank. They can help flank you over on the right side if they need to. Guns are opening up on our recruits now. Not the biggest problem in the world. I think we'll be alright. Bring the general down here as their army is about to advance. Leave their guns open for us. Definitely want to be taking care of those. Alright. Might need to be slowing it down here in just a moment. Awesome. Very good, however. Very good. Things are looking good. Alright. Here shortly I'll have this unit come out and flank them. Alright, the general's going in. They're not going to get any more volleys from that artillery. And of course they're angry enough about it that it's pulling some of their units off the line. That's fine. More opportunity for our troops to do some more damage. Now I didn't check if they outrange us, and they do outrange us. That is suboptimal. So I'll just move all of my men up some. Take care of that problem real quick. Wow, those guys want my general bad. Starting to receive and trade volleys. Doing so well. So far so good across the line. Let's see, 77% cover, 99% cover, 66% cover. Not the greatest necessarily, but it's not horrible either. Now these subsidy recruits should get quite a few kills coming up on the enemy, such as they are. Awesome. Just basically trading volleys for the moment. Alright, let's see here. go ahead and speed this up a little as well. Alright, we broke their right flank. So we are just going to wheel our troops around this way. Let's see, you have full stamina? You do. We're going to have you chase these guys. Try to get them as many kills as I possibly can. Putting them in column will help them catch up. Alright, look at that. Hitting their flanks pretty hard this way also. That's good. Kind of helpful that they're chasing that general right now. Not the greatest for them, but you know, we don't need it to be great for them anyway. Alright, we got another unit that we've repulsed. I'm going to try to have the French recruits take them on. Whoops, looks like they got engaged to the Fusiliers. Alright, I was trying to avoid that, but shouldn't be too big of a deal, I suppose. These subsidy recruits are getting shot in the back at the moment. That's not ideal. Now that would be great for these royal recruits to take on these Fusiliers. That's excellent. Make sure we don't forget about our general. Get him moving again. Move up our subsidy recruits back here. Alright, fantastic. Those Crown Land recruits are trying to engage my royal recruits in melee. Hopefully a few volleys will discourage that behavior. Alright. I don't necessarily want the Fusiliers returning to the battle. Alright. We got one set of them totally shattered. Of course, the other recruits shattered also. That's excellent. See if my men can catch up here. Not sure if they can before they wear themselves out completely. I guess we're about to find out, however. Be good if I can keep the general keeping these guys going. Those Austrian Fusiliers may decide to turn back and fight. We'll have to find out. Royal recruits are still getting some kills on those other guys. We'll see how that goes. One thing about this game, when a unit is a recruit regiment, they will earn XP a lot faster than once you've already upgraded them to be another kind of regiment. It's just the nature of it. Alright. Fantastic. These Subsidy recruits are catching up to their Fusiliers. Those Fusiliers aren't coming back now. They're about to be shattered. And hopefully they will get loads of kit. Wow, look at that. It's rising quick. Then we'll be able to we'll be ready to level them up here. That'll be fantastic. And of course our general is still being chased. That's wonderful news. Now you'll notice we may not even get a chance to fight these recruits. They're already getting ready to break. That's fine, however. These guys aren't going to catch up to Jack over there. They may as well just stop trying to do that. It's fine if the other unit breaks and we don't get to fight it, because our recruits here are getting so many kills that it becomes somewhat irrelevant. Alright. Look at that victory. See, we didn't even have to fight that guy. Now again, normally I wouldn't try to run them all down and get as many kills as possible. Unlike Total War, where you want to totally annihilate their forces most of the time to ensure they're not going to bring that army back to harass you or destroy a building or do whatever it is they're going to do. In this game, you want as many of them to live as possible while breaking them and having them run. You get more rewards that way. However, the XP we're going to get for going up to 1,000 kills of the Royal Recruits, 972 of these subsidies, 198 and 360 ain't bad either, is going to be fantastic. I don't like taking the veterancy and provisions very much. I'd rather have the conscripts and the ransom. However, we're doing low on food. Do not want to run out of food. I think we'll have to do that just to be sure. And yes, I know that the money you make from the other option can probably buy more food than the food's worth you get from the battle. However, if you get stuck out without food somewhere in between towns and your food runs out, your reservists will drain rapidly. And once they're done draining, each one of your units begins draining. It's not a fun situation at all. Let's see. Royal Recruits. Almost French Provincial Cavalry. Not quite. They're close. So we'll wait. Subsidy Recruits. Let's see. What are you going to do? Alright. Let's see here. We have 1 Grenadier, 3 Fusiliers, or Musketeers in our case. We're going to have 2 Cavalry once we complete our objective. Let's see, what can these guys go to? I would do artillery potentially, but I don't have a good gun yet. I don't think that would be wise. Alright. Yes, Hessian Cav is also very good. Not French Royal Cavalry good, but it's good. Alright, let's see. I know the game's telling me it wants me to get Jaegers. Not sure I want to make them Jaegers just yet. I will make one of these Hessian Musketeers, I believe. Alright, wonderful. Eventually, we're going to make these guys into grenadiers. We're going to give them some more grenadier-based items here. Help them out a little. More infantry items, that's wonderful. A few more artillery items. Alright, let's give our troops some more stuff here, shall we? 31 reload and 20 reloads. We need the Hanoverian troops to reload better, that's for sure. There we go. That should help them out a little bit. Alright, wonderful. O'Hara can get a level up. Let's see what we get for him. Alright, combat effectiveness. That's the best stat in the game. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do combat effectiveness. Alright. We're going to continue on down here now. Very good. We're going to get this convoy right quick. Perfect. That's just what I was hoping we'd get. Something to delay the HQ. Definitely going to do that. Get us more time. Let's see. Sell a couple of things here. Don't want to sell too much. What do they have at the barracks? Subsidy recruits. Yeah, we're gonna pick up those recruits and some more food. Next battalion is gonna cost 1,500 to open. Wow. That's suboptimal. Alright. Can't get an officer here, so we're not going to try for that. We're going to go for this encampment next. Never mind. We're going for the enemy army that's now trying to flee. Artillery, Fusiliers, and 3 recruits. Another easy army. At this point, we're just farming them for XP. Alright. Yes, that's a really good point. When you order a unit to charge, once the charge bar has gotten full and it gets into the charge all the way, fully committed, you can't tell it to come back. So don't issue a stupid charge right into the enemy if you can help it, because that unit may possibly get decimated. Definitely not something that's great. It happens sometimes, though. It happens. Just got to do your best to have what foresight you can. And, whatnot. Alright. Wonderful map. I love this map. Get the river. We're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to defend that river. Make them come to us. The general, however, I need him to come over here so he can go after their artillery. I'm not real interested in being shelled, if I'm being honest with you. Not exactly an exciting prospect. Alright, they're getting up here pretty close to the river front, however. I need to get my men up there. We can start firing at them quickly. Alright, put you there. Put you there. Try to get a little bit of cover if we can. We're not likely to get a lot, but I'd prefer to get as much as we possibly can. See, they saw our royal recruits go into column, and those artillery decided, hey, that's the best target on the map. Probably is. Probably is. Alright, they're opting to shoot some of our troops that are closer here now. Those are the Fusiliers. That's not great, exactly. Be ideal if we could get 2 units on that. Alright, let's see what we can do. I may bring up 1 unit of musketeers to aid them. Just to be sure they hold that line, we don't take too many casualties. Lots of fire going on down the line here. Alright, those recruits are about to get taken down. There we go. It's good stuff. General's getting the artillery. That's awesome. Ordering the royal recruits to get in there. Awesome, we got the Fusiliers. Not sure if my troops can get there in time. Take advantage of and kill them. That'd be wonderful. Wow, we shattered them too quickly to get more kills. Oh well. This is a good battle. Yes, indeed. That helped Frederick enormously to have the Russians pull out of the war with him. Alright. Fusiliers killed 195 of our men. Almost all of our men that were involved in the fighting heavily got more than 200 kills apiece. That's not bad. We'll get the conscripts and reservists this time. Make sure that our reservist stays high enough. Don't want to run out of that either. Talk about suboptimal. Alright, replenish everyone. Royal recruits are now cavalry. Fantastic. Don't necessarily need the billy goat now. Give them the Holsteiner horses, saddles, breastplate. I'm going to unlock another slot for them. There we go. Give them some half-decent equipment. That'll help. I'm going to keep them in that army because I need them leveled up to French Royal Cavalry. Very good. Alright. Have the Spontoon and the Billy Goat. Let's see who we're going to give that to. Alright. Level 1. I definitely think you're getting the Spontoon and the Billy Goat. Fantastic. Level 5. I want to get artillery, but right now it's going to start with a 3-pound gun that's absolute trash. I think it'd be best just to level them up some more then. Yeah. Get another Brunswicker musketeer, I suppose. That'll be good. Alright, let's get a move on to this camp. Hopefully something else to delay headquarters. A tough field army, that's good news. And we got our Royal Horse Guards as well. Also great news. Keep these muskets. Royal Horse Guards, how are you? You don't have any horses. Here you go, horses. It's wonderful. Come with good weapons instead of basic weapons. That's good. Royal Horse Guards. That's awesome. Got some good heavy cavalry. Alright, let's finish off this army. Let's see, they have 1 cavalry, 1 artillery, 4 recruits, and 2 fusiliers. We are going to involve more than just our recruits on this one. Still going to try to prioritize those units that need XP, but not going to let our units get destroyed because we do something stupid. Alright guys, let's take a look at this map here. Not a whole lot of cover. We do start by a river, but they already start with half of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to split our forces here. We're going to have our forces set up on this hill and these woods and control this bridgehead here. Gotta remember to take our troops off bayonets. Except our grenadiers, I want them to stay on bayonets. Keep the cavalry over here and the general right here. Alright, let's see. See what we can do here. This is a good hill right here. Hanoverian troops on the flank. Get the Brunswickers down here. Grenadier here. General here by the recruits. Start moving our cavalry back here. Alright, let's do this thing. See how well this goes. I do believe that artillery is going to make an attempt to fire at our cavalry. Unfortunately for us, the cavalry is not that fast, being heavy cavalry. Now right now, the funny business with the AI means that their artillery is content, if it needs to go straight ahead of the enemy force or to chase my cavalry around. That wasn't my intent. However, our cavalry is now being chased by their artillery, so to speak, because they want to kill them. I'm not going to let them get free shots on our cavalry. But I'm not going to charge an infantry line foolishly with them either. So we hold here and we wait for them to come to us. Make sure we stay out of the range of those guns. Get some of my tea here. Alright. The main thing I've found in this game with heavy cavalry, I like to give them a lot of speed items and speed options. The heavy cavalry hit so hard already. And normally I'd want to double down on that. However, they are so slow. So slow. That it's usually fairly easy to hit them and do damage. Something, obviously, I don't want to have happen. Alright. I think we're far enough away now from main body of infantry that we can go in. Alright, wonderful. They're almost lined up to attack our main force. We'll see how it goes this time. Our Royal Horse Guards do have carbines. They killed 6 of our provincial cavalry. And that does it for their cavalry. Alright. Wonderful. Now they've got hussars. And it looks like they're going to be charging our line. I could be wrong. Perhaps not. We'll see what happens. Alright. So they are moving up. We're going to start moving our Brunswickers over here to fold their flank. They also pulled a unit off to try to deal with our cavalry. Our men are trading quite well. Alright. Now, later on, I'm not going to be as willing to run up here and just cross with my men, because in the update, they're not just going to slow your men down. They're also going to, the rivers, I mean, are also going to drain their stamina. If that's not the definition of suboptimal, I don't know what to tell you. Our recruits are taking damage without being able to deliver it back. That's unacceptable. So we will hereby fix that. Wonderful. Alright, let's move up, shall we? Getting some excellent flanking attacks in here with our men. That's good, that's good. Alright. Now we're just waiting. These provincial recruits, or provincial cavalry that I'm using for the French troops, we're going to try to slaughter as many of their men as we possibly can with them. Thus we're ensuring that we will quickly access their heavy cavalry. French heavy cavalry is definitely one of the best units in the game. Absolute demolishers. Try to adjust my line accordingly here. I'm not sure where their cavalry is going to go just yet. Go ahead and move up our recruits here. Protect our line, the musketeers, as best we can. All right. That unit is still chasing our cavalry. Now they may be trying to attack this unit here with their cav, so let me order them to hold fire. And there they are. They're preparing to attack them with the cav. Open fire. Wonderful. Good work, men. That won't last very long. Let me order my subsidy recruits over here to attack from behind. Now they've scaled the front a little bit. Alright, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Provincial cavalry, come over here. Royal Horse Guards, you don't need leveled up right now, so you're going to be the distraction and the bait for those troops. Alright, let's see what damage we can do here. Pull our musketeers back. Alright, they're chasing the Royal Horse Guards. That's wonderful. Let's see about having them finish off their cavalry, and that way they won't return. Alright, their Fusiliers may get an attack on us before we get a volley. I like to see that fire by rank right there. That's wonderful. Our unit isn't getting to shoot, however, because it looks like they're still out of range. That's unacceptable. Get them in range so they can shoot. Go ahead and have them take out the Grenzer recruits when they can. Alright, these boys are about to fire by rank. That's wonderful. Not bad at all. I like seeing that. Man. Alright, walk on down here, cavalry. Alright. Have the musketeers move up and help them a bit so I can actually have them go and kill the unit. Hopefully they get there before the volley. I don't think they will. Ah, they're retreating. Wonderful. Fantastic. Oh, I missed the Grenzer recruits. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Oh well. Make sure our horse guard don't get shot to crap. Get them out of the way. Alright, Provincial Cav. Get crap loads of kill. Come on. Kill them. Kill them. Wipe them out. Alright, man, look at them wheat fields. Not a good day for the Austrian troops, I'd say. Not a good day in the slightest. Alright, we can chase these guys down also. That'll be quite bloody. Make sure our guard cav continues to move down here. Out of their way. Ah, the Fusiliers returned. That's not great. Alright, Cav, look at that. They're getting loads and loads and loads of kills. That's wonderful news. Just what I need them to do. Fantastic. Just slaughtering those troops. Alright, those recruits weren't ready for their Fusiliers to turn back around and do that. That's not great. It's quite alright, however. Don't know if they'll catch up, but if not, my cavalry can deal with them. Wonderful, wonderful. Wow. Just massacring them right now. Alright, next on to these Groundland recruits. It's not going to be optimal for them, but that's okay. And their other unit that was chasing us just absolutely broke. Decided they weren't ready for the fight no more. Alright. Get some of my tea. Alright, 106 kills by the Cav and 197 by the Fusiliers. Our cavalry got almost 2,000 kills. That's wonderful. Go ahead and get the Tallers and ammunition. Allow us to afford some things here. Alright, look at that. All those level ups, that's nice. They're not quite ready to keep going on yet, but they just need one more for the Dragoons. And 9 more total to get the French Royals. That's awesome. Put these down here in the great coats. Let's see. Hessian Musketeers should have the great coats. Fantastic. And these items, they're not the greatest necessarily. Put more Tula muskets over here. Should probably trade out some of the muskets for our troops that have some garbage muskets. These Hessian Musketeers need Tula muskets. Good for melee. Alright. Hanoverian troops, don't want them having worn muskets anymore. Brunswicker Musketeers. Who needs accuracy? Let's take a look at our accuracy stats here. Alright. Give it to these musketeers here. Alright, let's keep moving down the road here and see what else we can get. Reservists are even higher cost here. There's no way we're spending 164 on reservists. That's not happening. Can buy some food, however. Let's see if we have a general available. Reload speed. Combat oh man, that guy is good. Combat effectiveness, melee, and infantry accuracy. Nah. I think we get Forbes. Let's take a look at our troops real quick and sell some things first, however. Let's see. Let's take a look here. So, he's not really that good. I mean, he's alright, actually. Just not a big fan of the veterancy gain for later, but he's good for now. Let's see here. We really need a cavalry commander or another grenadier commander. Probably another fusilier commander too. I really want 8 fusiliers on the line if I can. It's really hard to beat 5% combat effectiveness and 15% reload speed. That's really hard to beat. Yeah, I'm going to move von Voutgenau to command the cavalry. We're going to get Walter Forbes to command the line infantry. That reload is going to come in handy. Very much so. Alright, time to head to the outpost here, see what we got. Encamped army. Alright, so this is what I was talking about, where you can have a chance for field works or artillery or something to get something. Here's another great example. 4 items, 3 items in dollars. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll give them that field works that we have. Get some more items and some money. How much are those field works worth? 160. Early items aren't good, but we need some more for our troops, so we'll do it. Oh, nice. The tea rations and the gun picks are some of the best items in the game for your infantry, to be honest with you. Give the gun picks. Oh, you can't have a gun pick with the accuracy. Alright. Well. Gun picks, gun picks, gun picks. Accuracy. Alright. We'll give the accuracy to somebody else. I want you to have gun picks also. I like you being a fast reload. I want them to reload faster also, so let's give that to them. Who needs the accuracy? Alright, not bad. Not sure if we're ready for the encampment army yet, however. Problem is, I don't know if we get a chance to come back here. Fight them again. They likely have artillery, though, and we don't. Screw it. We're going to go ahead and take them on. Let's see what happens. 4 units of artillery and 2 cavalry. 7 infantry. Wow, this could be a tough fight. We've definitely walked into something here. Alright. See what we can do here. Need to work the terrain to our advantage. And if we can nullify their guns quickly, outflank them with our infantry, we should be good. The grenadiers may be absolutely crucial here where we put them. Alright. Have the town. Have both rivers. We have this town. And we have woods. I think we're going to set our lineup here in the town and the woods. Definitely think that's the play. See, just kind of organize everything here for a minute. Our cavalry will be on the far side. We're going to see what we can do to take out those guns. And they do have our cavalry of their own. Thankfully, their charge and melee values are 2838 and 2026. 4952 for our royals. And our provincials are 3542. 4 artillery batteries could be extremely painful. Extremely painful. Alright. In this instance, unlike before, I'm going to be putting our primary infantry battalions in the town. I'm not much interested in them getting slaughtered. They take longer to replenish because of our difficulty modifiers and because they're more like medium level infantry and such. Take a lot excuse me, a lot more to replenish than the recruits do. Keep the grenadiers here. Alright. So let's get our cavalry moving over here. Alright, we're going to take this town as quickly as we can. Who's got our best reload? Those Brunswickers do for sure. Nice. Alright. Now the danger is, though, with them so far up here, they might get hit by the artillery proportionately quickly. Unfortunately. Also, I don't really know a good answer to that. Alright, we've got everyone moving up. Have our primary musketeers holding the town and the wood line here. Get our recruits and our grenadiers on the right flank, and then recruits and Hanoverians on the left flank. See what we can do. Their guns might be trying to get our cavalry. I don't think so. Their guns are heading straight for our main line. That's good and bad. Means our cavalry should get there unmolested, but it means our main line will likely be under attack very quickly. I'm going to deploy the Hanoverians over here. Still going to keep the recruits on the flank ready to go. Keep the grenadiers back here so they don't get pummeled by artillery, hopefully. Alright, who are they shooting with artillery? Yep, one of our primary Brunswick regiments. Should not have been surprised by that in the slightest. Alright, gonna move the cavalry up here to the bridge. Get ready to head across the water there. Alright, let's see what happens. When all four guns are opening up on us, that could be absolutely devastating. We do not want that. Need to deal with that problem. Ooh, that general is getting hit. Spread him out a little bit. Take less damage, hopefully. It's anybody's guess as to whether or not he'll actually stay safe. Pretty essential for troops with lower morale. Your mainline fusiliers and stuff should be fine, but your recruits will almost assuredly just run away. They may decide not to advance on us. We'll have to see, because they know they have artillery advantage. We'll have to find out if they decide to move forward or not. One way or another, we'll likely know soon. Yep, they are not wanting to approach us. So we're going to do some funny business over here. We're going to make them come to us. I am not inclined to go to them right now. But I'm not really inclined to get shelled here doing nothing either. Ouch, that's a lot of damage we're taking already. With their infantry holding by the guns, there's not much our cav can do about it yet either. Hessian musketeers are getting pummeled by the artillery. Alright, recruits, I need you to pick up some speed here, guys. I need you to do it like last week. I need you to do that on the double quick. Get some more units over there. Try to flank a little bit faster if possible. Alright, these subsidy recruits are just about to enter the combat area here. They're trying to flip things over here a little bit. We'll see what happens. I don't think they like my little combat maneuver on their flank here. I'm going to go ahead and charge them with the grenadiers. They're moving forward. They don't have a lot of infantry protecting the guns. They do have cavalry protecting them, however. We better cross the river up here. If we try to do it down here or something, we'll get pummeled by artillery or hit by the cavalry when we come across. We do not need such a disadvantage. Alright, we're going to turn our line, and we're going to order the recruits back up here to help. Grenadiers need to pull back a moment. Guess we can't turn our line too hard because they'll flank us. Alright. Alright, their special line regiment is hitting us in the flank here. So we're going to return the favor with the recruits. Get our cavalry across as quickly as we can. If I can speak English, that would help. Alright, grenadiers are going in. Break the line of their recruits. They were trying to flank our Live regiment. However, which is technically Life regiment. However, they were getting annihilated as they were recruits and didn't really know what they were doing. Alright, wonderful news. Gonna have the grenadiers head in and try to take out possibly their cav or their artillery. Alright, I need to slow the game down for just a moment. We need to start bracing. Oh, they're getting hit by canister. That is not good. Alright, bring our cavalry down here as fast as they possibly can get there. Well, I don't want to tire them out either, though. Alright, we're taking some casualties, and we broke their cavalry. Alright, they have to keep moving on success. They're getting canistered anyway. They better go. Time has come to move in. How are our boys here doing? These musketeers are hurt bad. See if we can circle around their flank a little. Alright, both of these infantry units have won their battles. We're going to move up now. That canister is freaking our grenadiers. Yikes. And they are charging our recruits. I'm not sure our recruits would survive that charge morale-wise. I don't see that being a great encounter. We just got to keep going, unfortunately, with our grenadiers. That canister shot from this particular unit is doing frick loads of damage. Crownland recruits are reforming in front of us, so we're going to go ahead and stop and offer them some fire. Gotta pay attention over here. Equip bayonets, and the Hanoverians are going to try to charge them also. Hopefully. Need to bring the general over here so they don't just rout as soon as the enemy meets them. That would not be good. Wow, our grenadiers are taking a lot of casualties. Looks like we might win against the Fusiliers. They're getting hit in the flank. Our recruits are barely holding them, but they are tired, which is huge. See if I can get their cav in a river. The carbine attack is not great for us. We're going to charge them in the river. I guess the Grenadiers have to keep going. Alright, we defeated and shattered their cavalry. We need to get our cav down here as quickly as possible. Hessian musketeers are still hurt real bad. The recruits finally gave in to the enemy right here. Order the general to charge in. He'll hopefully break their morale. The enemy morale will finally break, I hope. Man, that artillery is doing a number on our grenadiers. Looks like those Fusiliers have returned. We're going to bring our army back here and consolidate. That unit is shattered, and that worked with the cavalry. Alright, time to reform our infantry together here. To offer proper battle. Let's see, we'll bring the other guys up here. Get those grenadiers out of harm's way as fast as possible. It's the only unit left that they have. So get out of there as quick as possible. They're going to take a volley in the butt, maybe. Maybe not. That's good. Alright. Trying to get the provincial cavalry to gobble up as many enemies as they can. Alright, let's see. These recruits have better morale than these recruits. Alright, Cav are still getting tons of kills. Here comes the enemy. They do outrange our recruits, so we're actually going to move back a smidge just to bring them within our firing range when we finally do move up. Where's the other recruits? They're here. They're tired. Alright, let's move up, boys. Awesome. They did take a volley. They're about to give one of their own, however. It's going to be wonderful. Fire by rank. Not bad, not bad at all. I like that. Very good, in fact. Those provincial cav are just killing men after men after men. Alright, look at that. Victory on an encampment army. That was tough. Not as tough as it could have been, however. Those encampment armies can be very powerful. Huge challenge. See how much damage the guns did, especially with our grenadiers. We lost almost 2,000 men. That was obviously the highest casualties we've suffered in the game so far. Fusiliers got 371. The Daleen Fusiliers. Wow. 300 for the Dutch field. Over 200 for the Austrian field artilleries. Austrian battalion only got 150, but still. Our men got a lot of kills. Those grenadiers, man, they took the brunt of it. They did good. I think we better take conscripts just to be sure we're still good and reservists after this battle. Let's pick a doctrine. Resource cost of settlements is good. Baggage trains is really good. Not to be concerned about ammo as much. And saboteurs is not great for us because we already took the negative modifier where their troops are 30% faster. You're like, well, it could negate that. Well, it's fine. We'll do baggage trains. See what kind of levels our men got here. All right. All right, fantastic. More coats, more boots. Let's see. That's good. We need more boots. We didn't have any boots to give these guys before the Royal Cavalry. Might give the armor to the Royal Cavalry because the Provincial Cav is so slow already. This isn't great. Alright, let's see here. O'Hara can level again. Let's see what he can get. Alright, cavalry charge, stamina, veterancy. Reload. Part of me wants reload speed because that reload speed with the fire by rank could be really good. Stamina and veterancy, though. If we do the veterancy gain, he'll have even more veterancy gain. And he can be our training officer. I really like that idea. Then again, reload speed means more kills, more firing fire. You will do reload speed. Let's do that. They have another army that I thought... Yeah, they're heading for us. They're probably going to start running here in a moment, however. I don't really want them to run. I want to kill them. Let's go after them. Our XP is trying to run away. Alright, guys. However, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here. This will be the second episode. We will begin the Battle of Langenseebold in episode 3 and continue our campaign as Subsidy Troops. Alright. Thanks for joining me. God bless.